Hello and welcome to sim.bc, where it right now is 10:55, but none of that natural light. No, the sun is up today, unfortunately. But what do? You gotta do the best with the situation. Am I right? Today we're going to kick off with a new project. Thought I was gonna get right straight into it. Why bother waiting? So this one right here is probably gonna be quite low. But what am I saying? Well, Tailor brand has just released their new ebook, and they're talking about in 7 different chapters. They're talking about branding because they're Tailor brands, so they're obviously going to talk about branding, and then they've broken it up into different sizable pieces, right? And I thought, why not review them? Because I got an email from them saying like, hey, what's your feedback? You were one of the first to download it. What do you think about it? And I was like, might as well do a video, send that link to them, and all them views. No, obviously not. And as you know, this isn't sponsored because can't accept money from anybody to make content on YouTube unless you have 1,000 subscribers. You don't have to care about that because that is not how it is. This is just me, thinking this would be a nice bit of content, right? So that's what we're going to do the coming 7 days, except for with a pause when it's the news Saturday, because that is still going strong. And then I thought we can review all of this in the end, seeing what was the overall experience, how did it go, why did it go as it did, a bit like Hofstede's Dimensions, if you remember those. So without any further ado, mates, let's get into it. And today just gonna move me around here. Well, moving into it then, we have Tailor Brand's Chapter Uno, right? Chapter 1, and this is quite of a general chapter. It's just like introducing you, trying to hook you in, trying to tell you that this is kind of a good ebook and you should totally come along for the next chapter. And what they are discussing is that branding is important, right? It's important to have a logo specifically because they're talking about logos in the first chapter. And they're also discussing like, what is the importance of having a logo? Well, basically, right, mates, having a logo is showing you who you are. No matter if you're an accountant, if you're a teacher, if you're a lawyer, anything, you still need to have a logo. And the logo could be you, mate. So for instance, in my little project here, right, on my YouTube channel, I'm thinking like, I'm kind of the brand here, myself. I'm kind of the logo, right, myself here, even though I have a logo on the brand image and stuff like that. But a logo is a part of who you are, just like the brand is a part of who you are. The logo can then show off different appeals. A logo is made to appeal. And what is it made to appeal? Well, it's made to appeal and show a meaning. For instance, if you have a logo and you're in the B2B market, the business to business market, you might need a logo that says, hello, security, professionalism. You can trust us with your money. You can trust us with your investment. You can trust us with your logistics, your supply chain management, whatever it is. You need to have a logo that kind of suggests, right, that we are a professional company, that we can take care of your investment, we can take care of your customers, we can take care of your money, we can take care of your product. And that is truly important, and that is one of the reasons why you need to have a logo, because the logo is, as I said, representing something. If you're saying if you'd rather say this, that your appeal is to a younger audience, maybe you need a logo that's a bit more fun, a bit more vibrant, a bit more out there, a bit more new, a bit more outstanding, a bit more, what you would say, trendy. You might need something that is opposite to something that already exists in order to catch a younger part of the market, younger segments of the market. So the logo needs to not only be visually stunning, it also has to say something about the company. It has to say, well, this is a professional company, we're very serious about what we do here. And then it does not only have to be visually stunning, but it might also have to be simplistic. It might also need to be structured, neat in its design, showing off that this company is what it says it is. So showing a meaning behind the logo is quite of an important part. Now you can do this in different various ways. You can do this by either, as I said, have a visual stunning design. Maybe you try to reinforce your values in the logo. Maybe you're trying to write something in the logo, right? Because you can work with fonts, you can work with text, you can work with quotes, you can work with pictures, you can just work with different color schemes and colors, or you can have a face or something. Like KFC is having a face, IKEA is having the text, right, for IKEA, and you have all these different sorts of things that you can translate into and try to mix it up in order to show what especially in specific your company is actually doing. Try to show that off with a logo. So that is showing the meaning behind the company with the logo itself. And as I've mentioned and briefly talked about already, logo, and the logo rather, is a crucial part of marketing, and consistency here is the key, because as they state in the chapter 1, 90% of all consumers expect brands to mean the same thing over platforms, according to chapter 1. Yes, I said. Just written it down there, mates. What does this mean? Well, it basically means if IKEA is representing a sort of value, and then they move from this furniture giant, so to say, into Twitter, most people will tend to think that they're going to do kind of a similar thing, that they're going to show off and mean the same thing if they're using the same IKEA brand. For instance, let's just say, right, the most easy example to take up, and an example which I actually have quite a bit of experience in, this channel. Let's say that I'm having this logo that I'm having right now, you know, the channel art and all of that, and now I'm moving over to Twitter. If I'm keeping the same logo as I'm having at the moment, then you might all, who is following me to Twitter from YouTube, expect that I will do a similar amount of content, a similar thing of content, a similar thing that might be connected to the YouTube channel. Now, most people in today's society will already assume this, because we have things like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and then you have the company on the side, and you're using all of these platforms to actually market yourself. But because you need to market yourself, and because you want people to recognize yourself and get back to your company, you need to have the same logo, and especially important here, meaning the same thing in all of the different varieties of platforms that you're utilizing and that you're active on. Why is this important? Well, as we discussed, people need to see the logo and realize what you're doing. They need to connect to what you're doing, and when you're taking it from one platform to the next, they need to understand that, well, there is a clear connection here between just by the logo itself, connecting the two different platforms and connecting the same idea, showing the same unified front in all of the platforms from you especially, right? So if I'm moving on to Twitter, I might need to tend to use a more of a economic approach when I'm tweeting, if I'm using the same logo and, so to say, the brand and the company that I'm trying to develop here at YouTube. Why everyone should have a logo, even if you don't think you need one? Well, say this, mates, right? Hi, I don't have a physical product that people can see. Why should I have a logo? That is quite a valid point, because you might say, well, I'm not having a product. I'm not having a shoe that I can show off. I'm not having a phone that I can show off. I'm not having a water bottle that I actually can show off. I can't go up to a customer and say, this is my product, touch it, use it, search it, benefit from it. And also you can see that my logo is on it, so that's quite good as well. I can look for this logo in other products, because people tend to say, well, if I'm only having a service, and I don't mean that people tend to say this, I just mean it exists, the wrong choice of words there in the wording, but there exists this idea of, if I'm only having a service, for instance, if I'm on YouTube, right, I'm just providing a YouTube video. But even that is more tangible than what some people do. What say if you're in a cleaning service and you're working away, you're cleaning with your stuff, you're having products from other companies, you're just a cleaner and you use that. And I'm not meaning you're just a cleaner as, haha, you're just a cleaner. I'm actually thinking about becoming a cleaner after my graduation and all of that, but fine and dandy, am I right? But I of course meant that you're cleaning and you're having your products from somewhere else, so you're just cleaning in this sense of the example. You might say that, well, since I'm from this company, right, that making all the cleaning services, why do we need a logo? Why do we need a brand at all? No, but why do we need a logo since I'm only applying a service and I'm not able to show other people that, you know, my service has been done? Because when people come back to work, the cleaning will already be done. And that is a valid point, except for the fact that, well, your service is something brandable. It's something that needs a logo. The company needs a logo, and as we discussed, you know, of different platforms, if the company has a logo that stands for some certain values, they of course want you as the cleaner to have the same logo, maybe on your shirt, maybe on your jacket, mate. and that should show that you are using the same values as the company does, and you're upholding the same kind of standard as the company says that you do. You with me on that spin? Because basically, if you're providing a service, you need to still use a logo, because you need to be connected to a sort of branded company, and that company has a specific standard, it has a specific way of doing things, and a specific promise to its customers. Kind of customer relation. And then they need to say that all the people who are exercising our service, they will get what we're saying that they're going to get. Hence, a logo can be really good to emphasizing that point. Well, that was everything for me today, mates, from chapter 1, from chapter 1. I hope it wasn't too rambly. We had lots of stuff to cover on this first chapter. I thought it was a really good chapter. It was obviously trying to market the Tailor brand itself, so just keep that in mind if you read it. But the content that they're actually providing and the examples that they're using specifically, that I tended not to use because, don't want to take the content away from the chapter, you should read it because it's a good read and it takes up lots of different and interesting points. Have a nice one, mates, and I'll see you tomorrow with the next chapter review.